Thank you for joining. Today we take a journey into a magical place where Princess Yuvia has set on a magical journey. Please enjoy and remember that life is magical and imagination is the escape to reality and fun. Stay positive, love each other and yourself. Enjoy the short story. Once upon a time, in the land of Eldoria, there was a sprawling kingdom renowned for its lush landscapes, vibrant towns, and ancient magic. The heart of this kingdom was its magnificent castle, where lived the wise and benevolent King Eldar, his kind-hearted Queen Alara, and their daughter Princess Yuvia. Yuvia was not just any princess. She was gifted with the unique ability to communicate with dragons, a secret known only to her immediate family. In Eldoria, dragons were not the fearsome creatures of legend but noble beings bound by ancient pacts of peace. Deep within the enchanted Elysian forest stood Draken Manor, a centuries-old house where a select assembly of dragons resided. These dragons were the kingdom's protectors, guardians of both its treasures and its secrets. Princess Yuvia, now in her 18th year, felt a deep connection to these majestic creatures. Often, she would sneak away from the castle, her escape unnoticed by the guards, and make her way to Draken Manor. There, she spoke to the dragons, learning their wisdom and gaining their trust. One fateful day, an ominous cloud darkened the horizon. A sorcerer named Malakar, exiled years ago for dabbling in dark magic, had returned with a vengeance. He sought to usurp the throne and unleash chaos upon Eldoria. With his dark army advancing towards the kingdom, King Eldar was left with few options. The kingdom needed the dragons. Yuvia, aware of the impending peril, rode swiftly to Draken Manor. Meeting her was Drakor, the oldest and wisest of dragons. His scales glistened like tempered steel, eyes reflecting untold eons of knowledge. "Princess Yuvia," Drakor rumbled, "the time has come for the bond between our kinds to be tested." With a resolute heart, Yuvia relayed the kingdom's dire situation. The dragons agreed to aid Eldoria, but Drakor had a prophecy to share. "Only with the Chosen One's courage will our combined strength prevail," he warned, eyes fixed on Yuvia. Back at the castle, King Eldar prepared his forces, setting up defenses. Yuvia, riding the mighty Drakor, led a battalion of dragons into battle. The sight was awe-inspiring. Dragons of all hues soaring through the skies, their roars echoing across the land, instilling both hope and terror. The battle was fierce. Malakar unleashed ever more fearsome spells, his army pushing relentlessly. However, the alliance between Eldoria's knights and the dragons thwarted his advances. Yuvia, at the heart of the battleground, wielded an ancient sword gifted by Drakor himself, its blade shimmering with enchantments. Facing Malakar atop a hill, Yuvia channeled the dragon's wisdom and her own indomitable spirit. With a swift and decisive strike, she shattered Malakar's dark staff, breaking his hold on his army. Defeated and powerless, Malakar was captured and imprisoned in the kingdom's deepest dungeons. The day was won, Eldoria saved. The bond between dragons and humans was reinforced, a testament to unity and courage. King Eldar declared a grand celebration, honoring the dragons and their brave princess. Yuvia, forever known as the Dragon's Princess, continued to foster the relationship between her people and their draconic allies. Under her care, Eldoria flourished, becoming a beacon of harmony and strength. And so, in the annals of Eldoria, the legend of Princess Yuvia and the House of Dragons was etched in gold. A timeless tale of heroism and unity. Part, the trials of harmony, the gathering storm. As Princess Yuvia neared her 18th birthday, the kingdom of Eldoria faced a peril unlike any seen in a century. Dark clouds, harbingers of an ancient curse, began to gather over the kingdom's heartland, and reports of mysterious creatures attacking villages poured in from all directions. The royal court was in a state of turmoil, seeking guidance on how to counter this unprecedented threat. Yuvia stood in the grand hall, her mind heavy with the teachings and wisdom of the dragons. Erendur, the silver dragon, perched majestically on a high balcony, his luminous silver eyes surveying the anxious courtiers below. "Do not lose heart," Yuvia's voice rang clear and calm. "We have faced and will overcome greater challenges with unity and the strength of our bond." Determined to find a solution, Yuvia summoned the Council of the Dragons, a rare assembly of the kingdom's most ancient and wise dragons. They gathered in the secluded dragon sanctuary surrounded by towering cliffs and a pristine lake reflecting the sky. Erendur addressed the council first. "An old darkness stirs, likely roused by forgotten sorceries or an ancient enemy. It demands a unified response from dragon and human alike." Among the dragons was Fern, an elder fire dragon known for her fiery temperament, Karen the sea drake, wise and empathetic, and Rygar, the earth dragon, strong and steadfast. Yuvia listened intently as the dragons debated, each proposing different ways to counter the approaching calamity. She then spoke, her voice filled with resolve. Might and wisdom alone will not suffice. We need to look to our shared history and draw strength from the essence of our unity. Let us remember the old ways, the magic of harmony. Yuvia and the council decided to embark on a quest to rediscover the ancient rituals that had once bound dragons and humans in powerful harmony. The knowledge of these rites had dimmed over centuries, hidden in forgotten temples and lost manuscripts. Their first destination was the Temple of the Skies, a high-altitude sanctuary dedicated to the bond between humans and dragons. Yuvia, Earendor, and a select group of dragons and royal scribes climbed the perilous path to the temple, where ancient inscriptions awaited deciphering. Karen the sea drake, with her keen eyes, discovered an old scroll detailing a ritual called the Confluence of Hearts, a ceremony that could strengthen the bond between dragons and humans, imbuing them with formidable combined power. The ceremony was to be held during the next Drachenmond, a rare lunar event when the moon turned silver. Preparations were swift yet meticulous, involving the creation of intricate sigils, gathering rare herbs, and invoking the spirits of their ancestors. On the night of Drachenmond, Yuvia stood at the center of the ceremonial grounds, surrounded by dragons, nobles, and villagers. The air was thick with anticipation and the power of old magic. Under the silver light, she and Earendor began the ritual, chanting in the ancient tongue of the dragons. A luminous sphere of energy formed between them, growing brighter as their voices rose in harmony. The ground trembled, and the air crackled with raw power. As the ritual reached its climax, the sphere exploded in a magnificent display of light, sending waves of energy throughout Eldoria. The newfound strength from the ritual was palpable. Dragon and human alike felt an invigorating surge of power and unity. It came not a moment too soon, as reports indicated the dark forces were marching towards the capital. Yuvia led the united forces of Eldoria, dragons and knights, mages and commoners, in a final stand against the encroaching darkness. The battlefield was a cacophony of clashing steel, roaring flames, and the thunderous flaps of dragon wings. Earendor and Yuvia fought side by side, their bond a radiant testament to the power of unity. Their combined might was a beacon of hope, disintegrating shadows and repelling the malignant forces. One by one, the generals of the Dark Army fell, unable to withstand the combined strength of dragonfire and human resolve. The looming darkness began to wane, retreating like a tide pulled by an unseen force. After the battle, Eldoria entered a golden age of peace and prosperity. The bond between humans and dragons, rejuvenated and strengthened, became a cornerstone of the kingdom's culture and identity. Yuvia, hailed as a hero, continued to foster this unique relationship, ensuring the continued harmony of their realms. Eldoria thrived under her rule, with dragons and humans working together in ways previously unimagined. They built new cities, advanced magical and scientific knowledge, and explored lands beyond their borders, always in the spirit of mutual respect and unity. Years later, as Yuvia stood on the same balcony where she had once calmed the anxious courtiers, she reflected on the journey that had brought them here. Earendor, older and wiser, stood beside her, his scales glinting in the sunlight. "Together we have forged a legacy," Yuvia said softly. "A legacy of harmony, trust, and unwavering bond. May it endure for all time." Earendor nodded, his eyes filled with a deep, abiding reverence for the princess who had fulfilled her destiny and ensured that the tale of Yuvia and the House of Dragons would be told for generations to come. And thus the story of Princess Yuvia and the dragons became a cherished legend in Eldoria, a beacon of hope and unity for the ages. Finn? Again, thank you for listening and stay blessed.